Hello guys, this is GQ Auto Diagnostics and Repair here with a new video. This morning we're going to show you or bring you along and how to replace rack and pinion for 2001 Nissan Pathfinder. Alright, 600 automatic front wheel drive. And one of the first things you guys got to do when you moving or replacing any steering suspension related components like the rack and pinion, and this vehicle we have an airbag. Okay, airbag. So the first thing you must do, one, is make sure your steering wheel is center, tires pointed straight forward. Okay, next I want to remove the key. We're gonna make sure we secure our steering wheel. Okay, we do not. That's hard because I'm moving way too much the camera, I guess. We don't want the steering to be rotating when we disconnect the shaft going into the rack and pinion, because if it just rotate more to whichever direction that it's supposed to, it will damage the clock spring, and it's way behind here, behind the airbag. Steering wheel, that's gotta be removed, that's taken apart, and need to spend more money fixing something that it wasn't originally bad. So anyhow, remember this, very important. Number two, we are going to disconnect the battery. So we do not want, by any accidents or anything, deploy or airbag. Again, that will be bad. In this vehicle, we're going to disconnect the negative cable. It's right here. It's a 10mm in this case. And we should be good to go, good to start. Okay. The way I personally like to start it is by disconnecting everything, the simple stuff, like for instance the tire ends. Okay, so on this vehicle it is doesn't have the split pin here, or the cotter pin, whatever you guys want to call it. It's a 22mm or 7/8. So we are going to wrench. Gotta leave the nut there. Gotta get the hammer. Okay. I'm gonna tap it several times there. Done. Now we can disconnect it. On the new rack and pinion, we're gonna put a new how do you call those? New tire ends. But I'm gonna remove this one just to show the customer the old ones versus the new ones. And this one I already did. It's a lot easy to just remove it when it's attached to the spindle, so that way you don't have to fight it on the ground. Just snug. Okay, I'm gonna do that. Now we're gonna go to the other side and do the same thing. I don't know if you guys need to see the other side done, because you can just duplicate it. And you should be fine. This one also is already being loosened up. Okay, we're done there. Now the next thing, we are going to drain the fluid out of the rack and pinion. So we don't want it to go straight to the ground. So we want to make sure we do the right thing and use a nice and clean container. So we can just go ahead and catch it. So here we're gonna disconnect the lines. Let's see. Oops. Right here on top of the rack and pinion, there are the two the high pressure hose coming right here, or the line, and the return line. So we're gonna, it's a 14 millimeter bolt. So I'm going to put the camera here, bring a light so you guys can see. So we can just let drain the fluid and you guys can see it. It is right here. Let me see. Those two right there. And obviously they have a copper washer there to seal those lines. So remember just to keep them, just in case. Sometimes new things doesn't come with it, or you might lose it. You want to have a spare one. There we go. And start to leak. Nice. Right. Okay. This is one. Has the copper washer that I was talking about, in case you haven't seen one. Now we're going to remove those two 10 millimeter bolts, so this line can be able to wiggle it. So that will allow me to remove the second line easier. Trying to work around the oil. One, two. Those two the same length, so we don't have to worry about it. Which one goes where? Now this is loose. Now I can actually remove this line, this bolt, easier. Here's the other one. Okay. Now we have all this stuff here. The next thing is going to be remove this bolt right here. Right here. Obviously the light is bad. That bolt right there, that one right there. It's a 12mm, and we're gonna remove that. Now the steering wheel will be totally disconnected from the vehicle per se. There is this one. Don't mix it. It's for the type of bolt it is, so you're gonna need it. Cool. All right, so we got that. Next is gonna be to remove 4 bolts. This one's right here. Those are 7/8. Therefore, 1 on the bottom, 1 at the top, something here on the bottom, 1 at the top. So that way we can that's what keeping the rack and pinion up against the frame here. All right, so we are going to do that and get things moving. Those are 7/8. Or 22mm, I should say too. Gonna use a converted and a big breaker bar. Oh, this is the wrong socket. Now I'm going to put a universal joint or a swivel. Here's the angle. Swivel. Let's see. We can use this one right here. See if we can do it without the big ratchet. This bolt, all 4 are the same length, so you don't have to worry about it. For some reason it got stuck. continue. Now for this one here, we'll have to remove this 10mm as well. That is attached to this bracket. You will see it in a minute. Gonna remove that. Where's the other one? This one is a tight space here because the bolt of the socket start hitting the engine oil cooler. So now the rest got to be taken by hand because the socket doesn't fit there. Now this comes together here. So now the bolt here, but I didn't want it to bother. So this is one. This is another one. These two sides, these two brackets, they're different, so don't worry about. Pay attention where they go, but it's not like it's gonna be a concern to mix them. Now this one has obviously an arrow pointing up, but also the shape only fits one way, so no need to worry. Okay, so far right now we have everything disconnect for the most part. I think I need to remove this part, and we are going to remove this bracket right here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that gives us the room to slide the rack and pinion and move it away from it. Let me go get the other gun. Remove this 14mm. 1, 2, 3. See if we can actually get the other one. No, I need an extension. Get this done. Let's see if it's this. What else we need to move? Nothing. Perfect. A pull. Yeah. Pull towards the front. Have this little hook there. See, now we have plenty of room to slide that rack and pinion away from his place. I'm gonna remove this at 12mm. I don't want to have nothing in between. This is the bracket for the line. Okay, so we got this. Now we got one more thing to do here. Disconnect this shaft. I believe when we start to move, the rack and pinion, we probably have enough room to get it disconnected, but maybe not. Maybe we need to replace this side too. Remove this same bracket. You know what, let's do that. Let's remove that bracket as well. Okay. See, there you go. Just be careful. There's, and this is how you remove the rack and pinion. Yeah, we're gonna let it drain here as much as possible. Gonna remove these bushings. These bushings are new, so they don't get damaged. We can dry them out. So I don't know if the new rack and pinion come with the bushings. Sometimes they don't. So we already have this ones. So let's don't allow them to go to waste. I'm gonna let this thing drain a little bit more, and let's get this thing on the road. Alright guys, so the reason this rack and pinion we're gonna replace it is because here, this bushing inside the rack and pinion, when you move the steering wheel, this part here moves up and down. It's not the inner tire iron, so don't think that's the issue there. It is inside. It's making a big clunking noise. The next thing we gotta do, we need to remove this joint, this universal joint, because this is, we gotta keep this out of the way. The new part doesn't come with it, and we don't want to have to go back and then ask for it. All right, so let's get it out of the way. 12 millimeter. Let's get it out of the way. Okay, so this cool. All right, well, that's how you remove it. I will make another video how to reinstall it, and we go from there. If you find any value in this video, please like the video, leave your comments down below, and please just consider subscribing to the channel so you can be notified every single time that I upload a video. And hopefully with this short videos and taking the time, I can help somebody somewhere around the world to save some money and get the repair done right the first time. See you in the next video. God bless. Later.